The landmark medical drama House, MD was already impressive enough when it featured Gregory House and his team of diagnosticians treating one central medical case per episode. Then, just before the end of its first season, the show flipped the script, changing our perspective on the entire TV genre. Most of House's best episodes come after season 1, when the series was still establishing itself as the leading medical show on the small screen. It would take 2 or 3 more years for it to be regarded as arguably the greatest medical show of all time. But the 21st episode of that first season demonstrated the full potential of this uniquely brilliant work of television. Among the House episodes considered masterpieces by critics and fans alike, this is the one which is most commonly cited, thanks to its innovative framing device, the clever interplay between its multiple plot threads, and its ingenious final twist. Every fan of the medical drama will have their own favorite episode, but it's hard to argue against 3 Stories, which centers on probably the most important aspect of Gregory House's backstory, while completely breaking the mold in the way it presents its plot. No other episode encapsulates the many complexities of House's character quite as well. 3 Stories is widely regarded as House's best episode. Hugh Laurie as House in 3 Stories. Even the show's creator David Shaw sees 3 Stories as House's best episode. It's especially hard to argue with Shaw, given that he's the person who wrote the script for this masterpiece of television. 3 Stories shows us every conceivable side to Gregory House. We see his vindictive streak in the way he behaves towards his ex-wife when she begs him to treat her new husband. But we also watch him get a kick out of wowing a room full of students with his maverick approach to subbing as a lecturer on medical diagnosis. There's a profoundly emotional aspect to the episode, too, as House himself turns out to be one of the patients whose case he's lecturing students about. 3 Stories unexpectedly reveals the circumstances under which developed his trademark limp, via a medical emergency which took its toll on his first marriage. 3 Stories was the first House episode to really break the formula. House in front of a chalkboard in 3 Stories. In addition to filling in crucial elements of Gregory House's character while packing an emotional punch, 3 Stories is a major first for House in terms of its narrative structure. The episode uses House's lecture to medical students as a framing device for 3 different but intertwined medical cases about patients complaining about pain in their legs. House's unreliable narration of the stories around each case, interspersed with back-and-forth dialogue between him and the students he's lecturing, inject an extra layer of dark humor into the episode. These features also reveal a nurturing side to Gregory House that we're not used to seeing. That it's significant to note that 3 Stories was the first time House broke its formula of directly focusing on one medical case per episode. In fact, up until this episode aired, single-case episodes were the general formula to which almost all medical dramas adhered. However, the positive reception of 3 Stories led to several copycat episodes of House, as the show's writers attempted to emulate its success. In this sense, it's a turning point in the history of the series, as well as the whole genre. House's best moments came from episodes like 3 Stories. House and Carmen Electra in 3 Stories. 3 Stories may have been the first episode of House to break the mold, but it was far from the last. On the contrary, many of House's most important episodes in later seasons also strayed from the formulaic approach of making one medical case concerning a single patient the focus of their entire story. In general, the show's best moments came from episodes which shed light on Gregory House's personal struggles, as well as those of his colleagues, friends, and love interests. These struggles often saw the professional and the personal intertwine in emotionally powerful ways. House's drug-related hallucinations get him fired by Cuddy in the Season 5 episode, Both Sides Now, while House himself has to fire Chase for professional misconduct in a heartbreaking moment during Season 3's Human Error. No other medical drama has ventured so deeply, and so movingly, into the human problems which arise from working in medicine. House's less formulaic episodes are what kept the show special. Cuddy next to a hospital bed with House in it in House 3 Stories Season 1, Episode 21. The House episodes which break its formula for Story of the Week medical drama fundamentally set the show apart from everything which came before it in the genre, and virtually everything that's come since. When it first came along, procedural dramas were no longer at the cutting edge of television, and many of them had become too predictable to stay relevant. House changed things up completely, precisely through episodes which subverted our expectations for the narrative structure of a medical series. Perhaps the show took this novelty too far with the episode, Moving On, at the end of its 7th season, which saw Gregory House drive Wilson's car into Lisa Cuddy's living room.